everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be giving my commentary, a high-level summary of Melody Cherie's Instagram Live that took place earlier today, this afternoon, Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. Melody Cherie is playing no games, and she told her side of a lot of the disturbing interactions and narratives that we saw during this current season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Also, Melody Cherie revealed that she has experienced workplace retaliation, and she said that it is a legal term. She said that she rejected a deal and was retaliated against. And she also talks about Sunni Minx, the Fletchers, Destiny Payton, and Trisha, and so much more. Now, before we get into it all, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. Everything that I'm saying on this video is alleged and just my opinion. Oh my gosh, so I have 3 pages of notes. I had to number them so I could keep it all straight. And there's a lot to get into, a lot that I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. So Melody actually said that there is a recorded conversation of production saying that someone who appeared to support Melody and her fan base, the Millimeters, are on ice. And Melody defined as being on ice in television, in so many words, production isn't filming you. And in my opinion, I posed the question in her live chat, is the person iced out Sunni? And some others said it, it has to be Sunni. And in my opinion, it is, because out of the entire cast, everyone for years has been on this tip of letting Martell run the show in terms of taking his side and being okay with the disrespect of Melody. The one person who has been speaking out against the way production does things has been Sunni Minx. And I even made a video a couple months ago. I titled it Icing Out Martell. And it was basically a game card of who would do what. And I felt like Sunni would definitely be on board with not filming with Martell with his conviction of Revenge P. And as soon after that, Sunni announced that she and Moses would not be returning to Love and Marriage Huntsville. And to hear Melody Cherie say that there is recorded conversation of someone who appeared to support Melody and the Millimeters are now on ice, I said, oh my gosh. So they could sense that Sunni would have Melody's back. And so she's on ice. They're not filming her. Even more, we saw that after the girls' trip concluded, we hardly saw Sunni. We hardly saw Sunni and Moses. She did not return until Nell invited her to her bachelorette party. And then they were so trifling and weird, they didn't even invite her to the season finale of the vow renewal ceremony. Just being really mean. And according to Melody, it's recorded because she supports Melody and her fan base. Melody also talked about Trisha. So to give a timeline, she left Martell on April 4th, 2020. And we all know how Trisha lied about how she knows Martell and if they spent any face-to-face time together in the physical sense. She was denying it. She even lied to her boyfriend, Ken, only to confess that she did go over to Martell's house. They were supposed to fitness train, but then ended up watching a movie and all he did was talk about Melody. So to give that context there so that you have it, Melody asked Trisha the questions. We all know in that scene at the restaurant, or perhaps that was the bakery shop, she said she was asked to ask Trisha the questions because on the girls' trip, the ladies could not properly execute. Trisha's so-called friends, Stormy and Destiny, they could only say that, you told us that you didn't really know him, only to turn out that you did go over to his house. They thought that they would be hurting Melody's feelings and embarrass her on camera. But all they did was trigger some anger in Trisha to the point where she left early. and then they look like perhaps they're not really her true friends. Melody did not care about what Martell did after she left him in April 2020. And Trisha could have given her the heads up that she and Martell linked up. Melody said this during her Instagram live, and I totally agree. Trisha should have been woman about it and say, hey, especially because I'm on this show with you, I just want you to know that Martell and I, we did meet initially online, and then we met face to face. And really, girl, we did watch a movie, but all he did was talk about you. She could have told her that. Even if she was too uncomfortable to tell her face to face, could you send her a text or could you DM her on Instagram? But Trisha did not do that. Now, we all witnessed Trisha struggle to clarify how well she knew Martell. We even talked about how she hardly moved her mouth. She hardly clearly pronounced words unless she was filming a scene with Martell. Some of you even called Trisha lockjaw as a result. Melody actually clarified for us, confirmed for us that production obviously felt the same way because production asked Melody to get Trisha to spit facts about her and Martell. Mel said she was asked because she is the strongest one on the cast. All facts, Melody. Production is always trying to throw, Melody, trying to throw her off guard. And what I find to be so ironic about that is that energy that they try to give to Melody to throw her off guard, Carlos King has actually experienced that in recent weeks. Number one, when So Gucci told him that she felt unprotected on the show. And then when Aikisha quit the show, quit Bell Collective during his live broadcast, he was actually thrown and caught off guard twice. But they tried to throw Melody off guard, and it just does not happen. And also, circling back to Trisha told Melody that she knows Ariane. And Melody said, this girl just told me this out of the blue. And I feel like that is another blatant example of production trying to use people to try and throw Melody off guard. And we see this right in life when people try to test you, they try to provoke you to anger, they try to provoke a negative response from you. That's what they're trying to do with Melody. And I always say, what are you getting out of stuff like that? Does it make you more money? I'm not talking about the paychecks that production already gets, but are you getting like a bonus or a commission payout for trying to trigger Melody Cherie Rogers? I mean, it should not be orgasmic for you. That's the other tester. Are you going to climax doing this to this person, trolling them? If you can't answer yes, baby, then why are you doing it? Okay. It literally does not benefit your life at all trying to yield a negative response from someone. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. And also, production is aware that Melody is particular about who comes to her home and her events, but she was still open to Trisha and Ken and invited them to her Mimosas with Melody event that we did see during this current season of the show. Throughout Melody's Instagram live, she totally called out the issues with production. She talked about how production will not verify information that's stated and will actually add those accusations to a synopsis for the episode. She even used the example of Mel's double standards. And I think that that's just terrible. Now, if you are an avid moviegoer like myself, then you probably Google the synopsis. That is a word that I type into Google nearly every day. So I'll see, I love going to the movies. It's my favorite pastime. So I'll see like a movie title. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's about. And I'll Google the name and I'll say film 2025, because sometimes films from previous years have the same name. And I'll put the year and I'll type in synopsis. I depend on that. I depend on that synopsis because it gives me a gist of what the movie is about. And then it lets me gauge if I'm going to go spend my money on the ticket and the drink and the concessions and spend, a few hours at the movie theater. So I see why Melody ain't cool with the BS being put into a synopsis for an episode, because that is literally production's way of saying this is what this episode is about, as if it is all facts. So I totally appreciated her bringing that up, and that's poor production in my opinion. That's just like if I Google a synopsis about a movie and it says one thing, and then when I go see it, it's something totally different. Have I experienced that before? Yes. Was I not pleased? Yes. A good example was just last summer. It was a movie. It was about devil worshiping, but when I Googled the synopsis, it was about a police officer who's investigating a crime and realizes she has a connection. So I'm thinking, oh, this sounds like true crime or something. And they turned it into a movie, and Nicolas Cage is in it. It was called Daddy Longlegs, the most evil satanic movie ever. And it was so far off from the synopsis. And my guess is they didn't want people to be too freaked out to see the movie. So they told you that it was about a cop who was investigating a crime. Blair Underwood was in it. And yo, that movie was scary. And y'all know I go see scary movies. But the point I'm making is that if production gives you a bogus synopsis, you'll totally think that the episode or the movie is about something totally different. Melody, thank you for breaking that down, homegirl. And I'm sorry that this production has been playing you all these years because you do not deserve it. She also touched on Destiny, y'all. And she said, she took it way back. She took it back to 2018 when they first met, and even the season 3 reunion. So Melody clarified that she met Destiny in late 2018 because Destiny was dating who Martell called his best friend, LeBeric. And I said, oh my gosh, it seems like some fake friendships up in there because, or Destiny has come between the two men. And I really, like, if they're going to give real storyline, get to the bottom of that. Because how did it go from Martell and LeBeric were best friends to now, Martell doesn't seem to have any sort of friendship with LeBeric, but he's super close to Destiny. Did Destiny come between two guys? And that doesn't happen too often. I thought it was bros before hoes. So why is it in the reverse? Things that make you go, I'm not going to say anything just yet, but we all know our inclinations about Martell and Destiny. And I wonder, is that the reason behind any division between Martell and LeBeric? Melody said that when she had the baby shower for Sugar Mama, that she actually gave Destiny the role of host, just so Destiny could get more airtime. That was very generous and very kind of Melody to do that. And as far as the grooming lie about allegedly Melody and Martell grooming Destiny for a threesome, Melody does not appreciate production running with that rumor and not verifying if anything is true or verifying if there's any sort of proof. Melody also pointed out, why would she want the woman who is marrying her husband's best friend? Very true. Like, who does something that sneaky, freaky, that kinky, and is so ultra close to home? My goodness. Okay, so what did you think about, her definitely clarifying? It looks like totally Destiny was on the tail end of any sort of friendship. And, it seems like she may have come between Martell and LeBeric. What do you all think about that? Now, Melody clarified that she does not watch the show. So throughout her live, she would ask us questions like, let me know if did production show you all this scene between me and so-and-so? And Melody said that sometimes she even sees clips of the show on Instagram, and she said she'll just keep on scrolling. She says sometimes she'll watch the clips, but sometimes she does not. Melody made sure to let it be known that she says she's not going to be going back and forth with people after this Instagram live, because I imagine during a Mental Monday, Destiny will probably try to touch on it with Dion, or people who are anti-Melody may, say some things, and she's gonna just do, she Melody is very good at um, she's very good at filtering out the negativity. So she's going to probably even say, you don't even have to send me any videos or any content of any people responding to this in a negative way. But she called the cast delusional. Melody spoke on production's attempt to make her the villain. She called out production for not doing due diligence and not asking questions to verify. She said that production is positioning themselves to be libelous and slanderous. Like, you are positioning yourself to where you have committed libel and slander. And in my opinion, she was speaking on the revenge P, as well as the grooming rumors as well. And the truth would not align with someone's agenda. And I just got an email from Melody regarding her sale on her website for 7th Avenue Beauty. But she said that production has positioned themselves for libel and slander. And of course, that makes you think if there is a lawsuit on the horizon. And she's very organized and very smart. She definitely would show us text messages and locations of different venues where scenes were shot as receipts. Now, she spoke on the fake narrative that Melody is difficult and fake, and she said that this was pushed by the producers. So she's going to eventually let us know about this retaliation. Now, she was saying, and I thought this was great the way she worded this, that when it comes to TV shows, there's conflict, there's a climax, and there is a resolution. So again, with TV shows, the ingredients includes conflict, a climax, and a resolution. Melody said that the resolutions never lasted. And you know what? What I find to be so interesting about that is that the resolutions on the other side, they have come to fruition. Like Destiny and Stormy, they nearly came to blows during season 4's Galentine event. And even the men, Martell, nearly fighting the Scotts brothers, those resolutions came quick, fast, and in a hurry, and have been long lasting. But when it comes to Melody, there is no resolution. And the hypocrisy in that is that in Destiny's confessional for the season finale, she said that Melody has isolated herself and put herself on an island and ostracized herself from the group, was what she said. But Melody said it best that the resolutions never lasted when it comes to Melody. So they purposely, choose to be mean to her, and that is their storyline. Production asked Melody to question Kimmy about Maurice's DUI because the Scotts did not want to talk about it. Shocker. So we all know that the Scotts, they definitely protect each other's true life stories from getting on the show, and production doesn't push them. But what production has done this current season of Love and Marriage Huntsville is use Melody to get real storyline out of them, and then they resent Melody. That's what it appears. That's what it appears Kimmy is feeling on the reunion. But during today's Instagram live, Melody provided receipts where she and Kimmy text message back and forth. They spoke on the phone for 21 minutes, and Kimmy did not have an issue with Melody. So let's get there. Now, the scene where Melody was asked to ask Kimmy about Maurice's DUI was at the workout scene at Melody's home. Melody said she told production she wasn't going to be pushy. And she said, if this lady doesn't want to talk about it, I'm not going to push her. The next day after they filmed the scene, Melody says she called Kimmy to clarify that she did not want to go there, but production asked her to. And Melody said that they talked for 21 minutes, and she said that Kimmy said she knew it was production. Well, Kimmy, I ask you, why did you have all of that negative energy for Melody Cherie at this upcoming reunion if you knew that it was production who put her up to it? Why would you go there? And Kimmy, you know what it's like to be on that receiving end, because at the season 5 reunion, which was Destiny's last season when she sat season 6 out, Kimmy said at the reunion that production asked her to try and get Destiny to talk about her life. And Kimmy said she told production, oh my gosh, I do try. I can't, ain't nothing else I can do. She won't talk. So, sweetheart, you know the position that Melody was in. Melody was doing her job and doing it well. So why would you say all of that about her body at the reunion? It's very hypocritical and very fake, Kimmy. And Melody said that Kimmy and Mel talked after the cameras went down when they had lunch at Melody's home and Melody fixed her something to eat. She said that they talked and there was no issue. And she was saying that, people on the cast, they will be ready to fight and then they come back together and they'll be back cool. But when it comes to Melody, they do not extend that same grace. Production knew that Martell should not have sat at her table at the vow renewal ceremony. The Scotts tried to say that no one reached out once Maurice got his DUI. And Melody showed text messages where she reached out to Kimmy to check on her after Maurice got his DUI. And also, she talked about how when the cast attended her Mimosas with Melody event, there was a lady whom Kimmy seemed to have connection with because they were both sick and they both survived it. And the lady was a 30-year survivor. And she's in that picture to the right in the red dress hugging Kimmy. And Melody said she went on ahead and took a picture of them because she could feel the connection between the two of them. I thought that was really lovely when she said that. And she sent Kimmy a picture of her and Maurice. So Melody obviously has valued what she thought was a friendship with Kimmy, but Kimmy was not reciprocating. And that is definitely unfair to her. But that positive energy that you've given Kimmy, Melody, I believe that you will receive it back tenfold. Melody said not a lot of cast members stood up for what's right because they did not want their secrets getting out. And I want to add to that when we get to the Fletchers, because during last weekend's episode, when I recapped it, I talk about Nell's need for external validation. And in my opinion, from watching Melody's Instagram Live, the Fletchers have a big issue with external validation. Now let's talk about the workplace retaliation. Melody suggested that production did not like something. They did not like the way that she moved, and they've retaliated against her for it. She then went into specifics and said that she was asked to allow someone to be her TV manager. She declined the offer, and she said once she declined the offer, all hell broke loose. And we all know that managers, agents, they get a percentage of any deal that they're able to close for you. So whomever this person was, they could see that Melody is a moneymaker. She has lots of brand deals with Posner and Goalie. She's working on TikTok and her skincare is popular. And she has celebrity friends. So they wanted in on it. And she said no, and they've been retaliating against her, even to extending it out to the millimeters. And Melody said that she refused to turn on her supporters. She said that they were trying to throw rumors out there that there's secret meetings and that the millimeters are a cult. And who would have time for secret meetings, y'all? A lot of us bloggers work full-time jobs in addition to the blogging. And you have no idea. There's like time you put in to like watch the live, take notes. I watched this live twice. It was about 2 hours. I was working and then I watched it again and added to my notes. And then you film and you create the thumbnail and you post on social media. Some bloggers, this is what they do full time and they do not have another W-2 job. But who would even have the time to do the secret meetings outside of blogging? Some bloggers are parents, some bloggers have spouses. Oh my gosh, but that was the picture that they were trying to paint. Now let's talk about the Fletchers. Melody said, she only wants friends who reciprocate the energy that she gives. And I totally agree. Melody did not like Chris Fletcher brokering the meetup between Martell and Trisha. I don't think anyone in their right mind would have liked that. And she thought that they were friends. People who are anti-Melody was saying, why would she care about something that Martell did? But they were still legally married in 2020. And most of all, the Fletchers were her friends, or so she thought. So why would Chris introduce Martell to another woman? That's just trifling, nasty, and not being a friend. Melody talked about when Nell said that she left her dying mom to spend time with Melody. Melody said that whenever they hung out, it was always as couples. It would be Melody, Martell, Chris and Nell Fletcher, and sometimes even Destiny and LeBerick would join them. She said the one time where she did call Nell crying and screaming, it was when he took the $17,000 out of the bank account in 2020. And at one point, Nell wasn't even going to film for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Melody said that she went to Nell's house. They talked for 2 hours and she got Nell back on board. So Melody was doing production's job. She was able to help Nell. She overcame the objection. That's like a sales term, and got her back on board with filming. And she said she even called Carlos and gave him the status update that Nell was back on board. But she said now the Fletchers have gotten in line with the puppets. And in my opinion, the Fletchers, they have, it seems like a disease, for external validation. Where I feel like with Chris Fletcher, he seems pretty much like non-confrontational, and he's probably thinking he wants to be on the show to promote his realty business and promote his social media and his TikTok dances. And for Nell, I can tell like she wants to be down with the clique. She wants to be cool with the majority. She wants to, party, and she just wants to be in the clique. And she wants people to call her, their mentor. So she definitely has a need for that external validation. And that's too bad, to be at anywhere in life, regardless of your age, to want your validation from people, that's kind of a sad place to be in. And hopefully she'll find that validation within, dig deep into her spirituality and find that validation. Melody explained how production was rejecting storylines. Melody pitched the storyline of Miss Van going to therapy after losing her sister. She said production didn't want to show that. She said that her brother Marcus and his husband Troy were open to filming more for LAMH. Production didn't want to show them. And that's too bad. Like, this is 2025 to see an LGBT couple, professional, working. They live in Atlanta, which is like a mecca, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't want to show them. Okay. Melody said some cast members were boycotting because of legal issues. This I found to be very interesting. Who do you think were some of the cast members that were trying to boycott? Do you think that it was like Stormy? I thought of Maurice, perhaps. And she talked about the idea of having, business owners, business people on the show, because we all know that that was like the original idea, the original vision for Love and Marriage Huntsville, was to have like a HGTV style to show their businesses within the real estate industry. And she said that she would give her business friends contact info to production, and her friends would follow up with her and say, Melody, I have not heard back from them. And she said that production would never reach out. But Melody Cherie's Instagram Live, it was definitely informative. I know that we say, in social media world, the slang, she spilled tea, but she really, I felt like it was educational as well. And I'm just glad that she has a support base. She has her family support, and she's not alone. And I know that everything will be okay. I know that she's prayed about it, and she'll be all right. And her needs will continue to be met and beyond. But what did you all think of Melody's Instagram Live? I'm just so glad that she was able to get things off of her chest. And I'm sorry for the workplace retaliation. I've experienced that before. It's definitely not cool. And it's just an abuse of power because you want to be mad at someone because they won't do something that you want them to do. And I'm just thankful that Melody has discernment and she could tell, not to go forth with that offer. Well, I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Shows Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. I hope that you all had a wonderful Wednesday. The majority of the work week is behind us. And after I logged out of work, I immediately started watching Melody's Instagram Live again. I kind of started watching it again before I was done with work. Then I went to the gym, got that out of the way. I've come home and I've created content, and I'm going to be in live chats checking out, my favorite bloggers as well. But I hope you all had a great day. We're all going to have a thriving Thursday. Do what you have to do tonight to position yourself for a smooth morning. Try not to snooze on your alarm. I know that it's tempting, and I'm speaking to myself right now. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.